Welcome to the Healthcare Unfiltered Express, where I conduct short video interviews packed with relevant and timely information that you cannot miss. So sit back and enjoy the show. Dr. Saurabh Dahiya from Stanford University and the director of the Cell Therapy Program on Healthcare Unfiltered Express. Saurabh, this is the express version, so I can't have you for 40, 50 minutes, although I'd love to, but you know how it is. Express means 10 minutes or less.
Sounds good. This is the age of TikTok, so looking forward to it.
This is about 10 TikToks, you know.
Yeah.
But look, so Saurabh, over the past couple of weeks, every time you scroll on social media, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, wherever it is, everybody's talking about the FDA did something about CAR-T. Let's celebrate. It's wonderful. It's great. And we're high-fiving. And help us understand what's going on. What did the FDA do when it comes to CAR-T and cellular therapy? And why are we celebrating and why everybody is happy and high-fiving?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Shai, first of all, thank you for having me on. The For a long time, FDA had this program in place for CAR T cell therapy called as REMS program, which many oncology drugs have associated with it, risk evaluation and mitigation strategy program. And with the idea with CAR T cell therapy was a FDA mandated safety program that existed, where the idea was to make sure there's the sites are prepared to do this and the CAR T cell therapy in safe, proper management fashion. Hospitals are required to train, have equipped personnel to administer and deliver CAR T cell therapy. There's several components to the REMS program to make sure there's on-site tocilizumab available. There's healthcare training. There's these learning modules that you have to clear. There are mandatory reporting requirements that they were there to the FDA or to the sponsor, and there were ongoing recertification that was needed for these CAR-T certified centers. So that was a REMS program, and there was very specific follow-up requirements that FDA had for patients who get CAR-T cell therapy. The issues, though, with while the intent of the original REMS program back in 2017, when the CAR-T was FDA approved, the intent was quite good to make sure that these newly developed new class of therapies are delivered in a safe fashion, and the prescribers and the teams have systems that are established for safe delivery of these products. But the issues were manifold over the past 7 or 8 years that have emerged. REMS do pose having this administrative burden on the academic medical centers or even non-academic medical centers who would do CAR-T. As such, there are limited certified sites, which promotes and causes delay and inequity to access to CAR-T cell therapies. There are oftentimes when you train people on the REMS program, there'll be healthcare professional turnover, and you'll have to frequently retrain the staff that take care of these patients. There was this rigid design that every center, no matter if you have done 1,000 CAR T cells or done 10 CAR T cell procedures, you needed to have a REMS program in place. So it was a very rigid design which limited access. So what happened is on June 27th, just last month, FDA announced that they're eliminating REMS program, one, and two, they're loosening some of their follow-up guidelines for how you follow these patients. And
So,
I'm happy to go into them.
sorry to interrupt. One question though, but the REMS program in its spirit, it's designed to quote unquote provide a layer of protection for patients. So hopefully we make sure they have the resources to minimize side effects or issues, right? I realize the administrative burden, but the spirit of implementing the program did have the patient's interest at heart, no?
No, definitely. It definitely did have patients' interest in mind. However, most centers have gotten really good in managing toxicity, number one. Number two is the guidelines, what were in the REMS program, and also the the strict guidelines that FDA had were very rigid. For example, you need to keep the patient away from driving for 8 weeks. And we know majority of the toxicity happens in the first 2 weeks. You need to have the patient stay within 2 hours driving distance to a CAR-T authorized center for 4 weeks, when we know most of the stuff happens, toxicity happens in the first 2 weeks. So it was overly restrictive. And now with elimination of REMS and loosening of some of these follow-up guidelines, uh, it's still in the label have recommendations how you would follow these patients, but they're less restrictive. For example, they've gotten rid of uh, 8 weeks no driving. Now it's down to 2 weeks.
Got it.
Uh, Follow-up to the center, for example, they don't have to be seen daily at the treating center for 2 weeks. It's down to 7 days now. You had to be within a radius of 2 hours for a treating center. Now it's uh, changed to proximal to treating center, as opposed to 4 weeks previously. Now it's 2 weeks. So overall, it's less restrictive in terms of burden on the treating center, and more importantly, on the patient side.
And that obviously was a cause of celebration amongst cellular therapists and so on. And you shared that you felt that this is the right decision by the FDA.
No, absolutely. I think there are a lot of benefits to this change of elimination of REMS program and loosening of these restrictive follow-up guidelines that there were. It will likely result in improved patient access. Initially, it was only restricted to certified hospitals who could do it. Now there's probably going to be, because there's less administrative burden, more community sites could be brought online, especially for lower risk and more safer CAR T cell therapies. Next is there's probably going to, again, as I mentioned, about reduce administrative burden, and also making sure that there's going to be increased treatment uptake overall. So far, we had stalled at 20% market penetration. There are these all Wall Street analysis that is going on, that with this elimination of REMS and then also this post-infusion monitoring change, you'll probably see a doubling of market penetration with now an elimination of these couple of these two things. And I feel it's a very patient-centric decision. The most frustrating part that patients often complained about was the fact that they're not able to drive for 8 weeks, and then they're just good. They're dependent. They were losing their independence to their caregiver, and they felt that a burden on the caregiver for 8 weeks. So I think it's a patient-centric decision and a patient-centric approach that FDA has taken. The CBER director did say that in their announcement that because by eliminating the REMS program, it will expedite the delivery of potentially curative patients and reduce burden on caregivers and providers and patients. I think that's a very welcome news from the FDA, and it still maintains safety standards that needs to be there.
Saurabh, thank you so much. This is really very helpful. And I think hopefully listeners and viewers understand now what were the issues and what we are celebrating in terms of improved access. Dr. Saurabh Dahiya from Stanford University, thank you for coming on Healthcare Unfiltered Express.
Thanks, Shadi.
Thank you for listening to this edition of the Healthcare Unfiltered Express. Until next time, take care.